Ever had a hunch you could be a hero? No, me neither. Well, here's your chance. The exquisite Esmeralda has been taken captive by the hideous and heinous Half-and-Pounder, and nobody, but nobody, is willing to risk the perils of his trap-infested castle to rescue her from the highest bell tower. Now, sure, they're taking one or two liberties with the source material, but emotional trauma and social exclusion is much harder to capture in an 8-bit video game than is a good old princess rescue story. This is nothing directly to do with the Disney film Hunchback of Notre Dame. In fact, it's a sequel to the arcade game Hunchback, which in turn was based on the Victor Hugo book from the 1800s. You play as Quasimodo the Hunchback, who was sort of shunned by the townspeople of Paris as something of a monster. There is a wick at the bottom of the screen that is burning down, which acts as a timer. If the time runs out, a giant bell comes down to trap you, causing you to lose a life. You can collect an hourglass in places which will extend this time back up, and also play the bell toll from Big Ben for some reason. You need to ring these large bells to move to the next part of each stage, and you can also collect smaller bells that are hidden around the levels. Once you collect or ring 5 in total, your score multiplier goes up by 1. There are also icons that cycle throughout the letters E, X, T, R, A. If you manage to complete the collection, you get an extra life. Bear in mind though that if you collect a letter that you already have, it'll remove it. Occasionally you'll see a vortex that initially looks like you should avoid, but if you jump into it, you're teleported to a warp stage whereby you get a bonus dependent on the percentage of fruit that you manage to collect on that level. This bonus is then multiplied by your score multiplier, allowing you to rack up large amounts of points. You may fall in the water at times and have to rapidly press A to swim out. However, don't be afraid to explore down here. While there might be spikes that are instant death, there are also many bonuses to be had. The levels are richly designed with lots of hidden passages and some slightly unexpected mechanics like riding cannonballs. Taking damage doesn't immediately kill you, but does stun you for a little bit. Too much and the time will run out. What I do love is the knockback effect where you'll get thrown backwards into a wall, a spike pit or something like that. It has a very physically real feel to it, and the animations are thoroughly hilarious when this happens. In fact, all of Quasimodo's actions are actually brilliant throughout. Even the resting animations where sometimes he'll whip a yo-yo out and start playing with it. Other times he'll start whistling, complete with whistling sound effect. I love the attention to detail here. This is certainly something we could consider a hidden gem, as the presentation, both audially and visually, is impeccable. The graphics are detailed without being overwhelming, the music is well composed without being domineering, and the controls are smooth and responsive. Your progress is 100% down to your own skill. If you die, it's because you did something wrong, not because the game cheated you, and that is pretty much the main thing that I ask with a platformer. I was not very familiar with this game before, to the point where I don't think I actually played it until I started to review it, as it isn't a game that's talked about much in collecting communities. However, it should be, because it's shockingly brilliant. There were a lot of platform games around at this time, so to stand out from them, something must have been done right. If you can find a copy of this game, I would strongly recommend it. Beware, however, which one you buy, as there is a game called Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is not this one, and is not nearly as good.